The big story. President Marcos won't say if another cabinet revamp is happening. For him, such a move is counterproductive at this point. But the chief executive does not mind having former DILG chief Benher Abalos on Team Marcos.
Just because we want him to join, to become a more active, to play a more active part in government, doesn't mean it necessarily means that somebody else has to be.
There's still mourning over the deaths of Rene Baterbonia and Divine Adili. But there's indignation within the Ateneo community too, amid the probe into the tragedy. And these gentlemen are still at it. The word war rages between Senators Alan Cayetano and Ping Lacson. Then, between Davao Congressman Pulong Duterte and DILG Secretary John Vic Remulla. Good evening, I'm Ces Oreña-Drilon. President Marcos is back in the country after a 3-day working visit to Kazan, Russia. But before heading home, he struck deals for Philippine food and energy supplies and secured the release of 24 detained Filipinos. Then the president also had a lot to say about a rumored cabinet revamp and the Senate's new leadership. Mobile journalist Julie Baiza with tonight's big story.
From Russia with love. And no, it's not like the Bond movie where there's a trap from the enemy. President Bongbong Marcos actually made a connection, sharing what he believes was a successful conclusion to the ASEAN-Russia Commemorative Summit. Marcos served as co-chair alongside President Vladimir Putin to mark the 35th anniversary of relations. The two leaders signed the Kazan Declaration 2026 and the ASEAN-Russia Comprehensive Plan of Action 2026 to 2030. Both documents will serve as a guide for relations in the areas of security, economy, and culture over the next 5 years. Heads also issued joint statements on strengthening cultural and energy cooperation. While there is no final agreement yet, President Marcos confirmed an understanding to make Philippine importation of petroleum products from Russia more systematic. This could be an alternative source during times of crisis.
I can say that President Putin, the Russian Federation's the government, was very open to any kind of suggestion that we do increase that engagement and that we look further into getting our supplies of petroleum products from Russia.
Marcos also announced the impending release and repatriation of 24 Filipinos who have been detained in Russia for 9 months without formal charges on Putin's orders.
I remember the last thing he said, "Don't worry, we will find a way. We will find a way to fix this problem." And now, the 24 Filipinos will be released.
Before leaving for Russia, Marcos answered questions from the media, including lingering reports of another cabinet reshuffle.
It's counterproductive. You know, what you are trying to promote in government is stability and a steadiness of work, and that's an important part of governance. If you keep moving people around, they have to start learning the job again, and we just don't have time for that.
But the chief executive did express his desire to see former Interior Secretary Benher Abalos have a more active role in his administration.
I'll be very candid. I'll be very frank with you. I wouldn't mind finding a way for him to help us in an official capacity. But just because we want him to join, to become a more active, to play a more active part in government, doesn't mean it necessarily means that somebody else has to be. It's not a zero-sum thing in the cabinet that you have to remove somebody to gain somebody else.
When asked about the recent leadership change in the Senate, Marcos also expressed hope that things will return to normal with Senate President Sherwin Gatchalian at the helm.
Sana naman sa paglagay ni Senator Sherwin bilang SP, ay mabalik naman tayo sa normal na patakbo ng Senado. And that they can take care of the business of government, the business of legislation, and all these necessary legislation that we listed to show that that are priority.
The president also had something to say about the possibility of Senator Ces Escudero acting as presiding officer in the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. It was under Escudero's leadership last year that the first impeachment trial faltered.
So, in terms of his ability to be able to run the trial, I don't think that's in doubt. If you remember, the reason that the impeachment trial last year came to a stop was because of the Supreme Court decision, and that had nothing to do with Senator Cheese. I will support whoever the Senate chooses. As long as the process that they undertook in making the choice is proper, is legal, is constitutional, then that's fine with me.
Kapatid Mobile Journal Julie Baiza, we are One News.
Another interesting week in Philippine politics, and no one can talk about it better than our resident political pundit, Ronald Llamas. May bagong tawag sa'yo. Dalai Llamas. But, okay, the president said something very interesting there. Backing, it seems, Senator Ces Escudero as presiding officer of the impeachment trial.
Well, maraming hugot yan. Ses, una, siya yung nagbigay ng majority, Kilawin Gatchalian. Ikalawa, together with Joel Villanueva, na-resolve nila yung leadership crisis dito sa Senate presidency. Ikatlo ay dahil dalawa lang ang abogado dito sa bagong majority, ay siya at saka si Kiko lamang ang pinagpipilian to be the presiding judge. At ikaapat, papunta ng impeachment, kailangan yung boto niya and others para makaabot sa 2/3. No? Bagamat hindi lang siya. So, I can understand why the president is very positive about him.
So, it's in the bag.
Alin? Depende. Ano naman
Ang
yung bag?
pagiging presiding officer,
Akala ko.
it's in the bag for cheese. Baka sabihin, maleta, no? Anong klaseng bag?
Delikado pag mga nagbabanggit ng bag.
Oo, parang gano'n,
Lalo
ano?
na, dagdag bawas yan. Minsan nandun ka, minsan wala. Di ba?
Pero totoo na yon.
Na-
Mukhang di ba? Mukhang with the president.
In all probability, baka siya yung maging presiding na.
Pero itong nangyayaring ito, parang malaking... At what price is the admin getting what it wants? Unang-una, silang dalawa ay facing charges before the ombudsman because nadawit sila sa flood control at malaking halaga yung kay Cheese, malaki.
Several hundred millions.
Oh.
Well, tingin ko naman ay mahirap i-sacrifice yung judicial system natin para sa parang quid pro quo, carrot and stick. So, tingnan natin kung ano mangyayari sa kanyang mga kaso. No? Pwede rin kasi naghahabol siya ng rehabilitation dahil masyado siyang gumuho yung kanyang imahe after nung forthwith episode niya sa impeachment last
Kaya nga
year.
maraming nagdududa kung paano siya magpe-preside ngayon. O paano naman siya ngayon biglang babalik? Paano niya papaliwanag yung change of tone? From before, blocking, and now
Well, binigyan siya ng
allowing evidence, for instance, di ba?
binigyan siya ng graceful exit ni Presidente. Hindi naman daw niya kasalanan yon. Kasalanan yon ng Supreme Court. O, di ba? Ikalawa ay, yun nga, oobserbahan siya ng buong bansa kung paano niya hahandlein as presiding officer itong impeachment trial. No? At sa dulo, paano siya boboto?
Noon, this was prior to the declaration by the VP na she will throw her hat na, she will run for president. And ang interpretasyon nun is because malakas siya, he was being an ally, di ba? Kumbaga, nagtaya na siya. Ngayon, iba ang tugtugin.
Mukhang nag-a-adjust siya ng messaging. Dahil nakita niya yung mga hindi pa nag-a-announce na tatakbo o nagsabi na hindi sila tatakbo, very competitive sa kanya. Habang siya ay medyo nag-plateau. No? So, tingin ko nag-a-adjust siya na parang binabawi niya yung kanyang sinabi na ako na yung tatakbo sa 2028. Nung several weeks back, ang sabi niya, parang hindi na ako interesado, di ba? So nag-a-adjust siya sa messaging no? At saka, napanood mo ba yung press con 3 days ago ng kanyang mga followers, led by Jing Paras, led by retired generals, sinasabi na bakit parang ina-abandon mo kami? Bakit ayaw mo kaming pamunuan? No? Bakit hindi ka namin makasama? Bakit hindi mo ayusin yung aming mga dynamics? Kwanto first public criticism sa kanya ng sarili niyang followers.
So she is also distancing herself.
Yes, maunawaan ko ba't niya ididistansya yung sarili niya sa Senado, lalo na kay Alan Peter. Dahil walang value added sa kanya. No? Pero dito sa kanya mga kasama, hindi ko sigurado.
Pero mabalik tayo, sige, nabanggit mo si Senator Cayetano. The movements in the Senate seem to confirm yung sinasabi niya. Pag namuno na itong mayorya na to, baka walang mangyari sa flood control probe.
Well, duda ako kung yan yung magiging direksyon dahil in more than a month, magkakaroon ng SONA ang presidente. At ito yung SONA 1 year after nung kanyang mahiya ka naman
Mahiya
SONA.
naman kayo.
Mahiya naman kayo, SONA. So, ibig sabihin, sisingilin siya dyan. No? Kailangan meron siya ma-deliver. Dahil siya yung nagsimula Siya yung nang
So
pangalan.
it's definitely not Joel Villanueva and Cheese Escudero.
Well, posible na hindi naman mamadaliin yung kaso, pero duda ako kung yan ay hindi itutuloy. Dahil naka-file na No? Mismo nga si
Medyo
Boying
babagalan
Remulla.
lang.
Well, baka yung wheels of justice ay medyo hindi ganun kabilis, no? Pero duda ako kung yan ay papatayin. Dahil nga, naisalang na Si Joel nga, tapos na yung preliminary investigation
Pero wala pa yata siyang whole departure order. Kagaya
Ni Cheese.
Ni Cheese.
Oh, may precautionary whole
At saka
departure order siya. Tsaka si Martin Romualdez.
Martin Romualdez. Also Marcoleta.
Yes.
Senator Marcoleta. Okay, speaking of Senator Marcoleta, well, it's not related, but itong D-stab, parang may multo lang ba kayong sinasabing magkaka-D-stab? Wala naman nangyari.
Well, yan naman ay parang permanent manifestation ng ating weak political institutions. Last year, nung September, nagkaroon na yan, di ba? Yung military nagkaroon ng loyalty check at naglabas ng statement mismo ang military, we stand by the Constitution. Di ba? Ibig sabihin, merong mga nangyayari behind the scenes, no? Ngayon naman, after nung crisis sa Senado, nitong mga plunder cases mismo sa mga miyembro ng mga religious groups, katulad ni Joel at ni Marcoleta, at itong 18 Marines na gusto nilang mag-trigger ng disenchantment within the military, meron ka mga naamoy. Pero,
so you mean Jesus is Lord and Iglesia ni Cristo could be maneuvering?
Could be, no? Wala ka namang katibayan dyan Pero last year, sila yung pinakamalalaki ang mobilization. Kung maalala mo, nung September at saka November. Paano, kailangan mo rin naman, hindi lang ng military sa destabilization Kailangan mo rin ng big crowds of people sa kalsada. No?
So, ba't hindi nangyari kung
well,
yung...
parang napakahina ng mga triggers Ikaw ba matitrigger ka dun sa leadership ni Alan Peter? Ikaw ba ay matitrigger ka sa mga plunder cases na makukulong? No? Na nanggaling naman sa kanila yung ebidensya? Ikaw ba ay matitrigger nitong inconsistency sa testimony nitong mga 18 alleged Marines? So baka kulang.
Don't call them Marines. Sabi ng
X whatever. X whatever. Hindi mo na alam So, ibig sabihin, yung triggers are not enough for a decent pwede ko bang tawagin? A real destabilization.
To rally, to get people angry.
Or to withdraw support. No? Pero dahil nga sa ating weak political institutions, it can happen overnight. No?
Now, dito sa boto ng the 2/3 vote that's needed to impeach, no? Ano sa tingin mo, if it is adjusted, magkakaroon ba yun ng, will it trigger the defense camp of the Vice President going to the Supreme Court and again, scuttling the impeachment?
Yes, bago pa nga magkaroon ng impeachment, pumunta na sila sa Supreme Court, di ba?
Oo nga
Pero hindi sila binigyan ng TRO. So every step of the way, tingin ko kay question nila yan. Pero dapat maging justiciable yung issue eh. Di ba? Dapat may mangyari muna.
So maybe at the point of voting?
Hindi naman. Halimbawa, makulong yung dalawa sa ICC o makulong yung additional 2 sa plunder. May writing on the wall na, mababawasan. Doon sila posibleng mag-file.
There has to be an event that will trigger them to decide, to interfere.
Yes. At iba-iba kasi yung mga interpretation. May ibang legal luminaries, sabi, pwedeng i-adjust. Dahil practical eh, kung mawala yung 4, talagang i-adjust mo yung numbers.
Ba't mo bibilangin ng 24,
diba?
diba?
Sabi nga ni Dean Ranhilio Aquino, paano kung halimbawa, sana hindi naman mangyari, may maaksidente, mamatay. Siyempre, babawas mo yun sa numero. Pag plunder case, clearly kasi pag plunder na isang senador makasuhan, tatanggalin sa kanya yung duties of a senator. Which
Like
means,
Jinggoy, na-suspend na siya.
yes, duties like voting. Kung hindi ka makakaboto, siyempre tatanggalin ka sa bilang.
Oo.
Diba? So, yun ang sinasabi ng mga kwan.
Naku, may tumatawag ng, ano ba yan? Distab ba yan?
Patayin ko muna.
Sige, ang presidente, well, sinabi naman niya kanina, parang dousing speculation na magkakaroon ng cabinet revamp. How necessary anyway is a cabinet revamp?
Well, usually kasi, pag may mga problema ang presidente, ang gobyerno, yung cabinet revamp is a recourse.
But here we go again.
Diba? Ilang interview mo sa akin dati eh. Naalala ko noon, interview ako sa Palawan tungkol sa cabinet revamp. Sabi ko sa'yo, until it happens, it didn't happen. No? Pero mismo yung gobyerno nagbibigay ng indications na magkakaroon ng cabinet revamp because of the scandal, sa because of the yung talo sa midterm election, because of the destab.
At that time,
year,
ngayon, because of his low numbers, but
siguro it could be all of the above, no? Meron kang low approval ratings, tapos galing ka sa isang Senate crisis, papasok ka sa SONA, tapos usually kasi ang cabinet revamp, yung mga cabinet secretary mo, parang sila yung nag-absorb ng mga negative impulses ng iyong leadership. Para hindi ka masisi.
Hindi ba dapat ang DILG, kasi hanggang ngayon, di pa nakukuha si Senator Bato, si Atong ang daming mga...
Well, marami kang mga problema sa mga department. Halimbawa, yung health department mo, parang ang daming mga nakasampang kaso, di ba?
Tama. Parang inuulan ng kaso si Secretary.
Nung bago na paltan yung
talagang makulit yung tumatawag sa'yo.
Hindi, parang alarm eh. Parang alarm, hindi ko alam paano patayin. Tatapon ko na sana.
Dalay ka pa naman. Dalay Llamas. O sige.
Halimbawa, yung Dole. Bago na paltan yung Dole Secretary, hindi mo na nakikita yung kwan eh.
Pero nandiyan na si Secretary
Tolentino. Ibig sabihin, bago pa siya, no? Ay hindi pa siya tinatanggal, hindi mo na siya makita. Pero mo, Labor Day, wala yung Dole Secretary mo. So, ibig sabihin, maraming problema yung cabinet. Although, sinasabi ni BBM kanina...
How about agriculture?
Well, hindi ko pa nasusuri yung agriculture, no? May positive at saka negative dyan. Siyempre, negative dyan ay yung contribution ng agriculture sa growth ng iyong bansa ay medyo nil, no? Pero usually kasi yung agriculture ang pinakamahina.
At ang tulong sa mga agricultural workers nung tumaas ang presyo ng krudo.
Yes, oo. Ang sabi naman
Pero malapit kasi kay Presidente si Kiko, Secretary
yes,
Kiko.
mukhang malaking donor yata yan ng kampanya, no?
Okay.
Tsaka siyempre, isa ring taipan yan, no? Fishing taipan yan eh, no? Pero yung dating iconic kasi issue sa agriculture, yung 20 peso na bigas. Diba? Yan yung...
Wala na. We all gave up on that idea. Ngayon, you always say this year, 2026, will determine the race in 2028. This is a crucial year. You always say that.
Yes, dahil una, ngayon mangyayari yung impeachment. Diba? Ngayon mo nakikita yung crisis ng ating political institutions. Katulad dito sa Senate. Although hindi ko inasahan na ganyang kagulo. No? Alam mo naman na weak talaga yung institution na yan. Diba? Tapos ikatlo, yung economics natin. Diba? Below 4% na yung growth rate. Na initially, ang target mo
And
ay
the Senate
7, 6, 5.
The
diba?
Senate impasse also added to that economic
yung
instability.
inflation mo, nag-quadruple na. Tapos yung wages naman, hindi naman tumataas. Yung fiscal space mo, pagbigay sa ayuda, sobrang nipis na. So, sino ba yung mag-harness ng economic situation na yan towards his own political candidacy ay malaki yung epekto sa 2028, di ba? At marami pang mga bagay.
Nobody's harnessing, nobody's using that message, not even
Not yet.
VP. Not even VP Sara.
Yes, not yet. Pero yan yung mga mangyayari this year na makakaapekto sa 2028.
We're already halfway through the year. Wala pa tayong nakikita like the traditional opposition. Ano ba? Anong ginagawa nila? Well, at least Senator Trillanes launched RISA na.
Yeah, oo. At,
So will that spur more movement in the traditional
well, ang
opposition?
sigurado ko kasi, within the pink camp, na may several possible potential candidate, no, ay mag-unite sila sa isa lang. Pero siyempre, for now, if-float nila yung kanilang mga sarili bilang standard bearer. At medyo, sabi ng iba, open-ended pa rin yung kay Lenny. Dahil nung sinabi niya na hindi siya tatakbo, no, siyempre, wala ka pang isang taon na nanalo as Naga City Mayor, sasabihin mo, iiwanan mo kagad yung mga tao mo ron. So medyo understandable naman. Whether,
So, hindi pa yun final.
well, according sa iba. No? According sa iba. No? Kaya,
What about Bam Aquino?
tingin ko,
He's already organizing some, I think, was it Senator Trillanes? I've heard from some NGOs.
tingin ko ay napaka-potential din niya at ang alam ko ay interesado rin siya sa 2028. At kahit matalo siya, senador pa rin siya. Baka siya yung pinaka-tactically nothing much to lose and everything to gain, di ba? Perhaps Kiko nag-iisip din, no? So meron kang apat na potential within the pink camp. At baka sa kanila lang nga meron dahil sabi ng mga tulpo, hindi kami tatakbo for president. Open siguro yung mga tulpo for vice.
What makes you say that? Even because both have said publicly na hindi.
Well, si Erwin kasi, kahit matalo siya for a higher position, senador pa rin siya, like Bam. No? Kaya hindi ako magugulat na mag-o-open siya. For a higher, perhaps not as president.
Ano naman ang role ni BBM dito?
Well, dahil existential yung battle niya sa mga Duterte, no? It is in his interest na matalo si Sara. Or else, yung kanilang political, perhaps even physical survival, ay nakatali rito. Dahil tinetreaten ka nga ng assassination at the height of her power. Lalo na kung
nasa poder sila.
Yes. Kaya it is
You will
in
have to go
interest.
into exile or something like that.
Yes, pero baka at this point, kung ganyang kababa yung kanyang approval rating at bababa pa, ay baka hindi siya value added in terms of endorsement. Pero baka tumulong siya
Sa
kung
machinery.
sino man yung isang kandidato dahil
Na viable.
kung hindi kasi isa, lamang na si Sara.
Pero do you see a one-on-one race?
Tingin ko kung hindi may impeach si Sara, it will be a one-on-one race. No? Kung meron mang ibang tatakbo, yung mga hindi ganun ka-significant. Pero yung mga significant players, they will consolidate under one candidate who can viably defeat Sara.
If she is convicted, eto na, last question. Anong nakikita mo sa impeachment? Conviction or acquit?
Uphill ang conviction, pero doable. No? Dahil nga, depende kung anong ebidensya ang lalabas. Kung yung lumabas sa Justice Committee is but the tip of the iceberg, sino ba namang senador ang hindi magko-convict? Kung halimbawa mapatunayan na galing ito sa drug lords, gambling lords, etc., pati ikaw madadamay dyan, di ba? Kung hindi ka magko-convict.
Kung mag-move for dismissal on the get-go,
Mahihirapan na yun Mahihirapan na yun.
hindi na yun mabebenta.
Pag
And
nagsimula...
they won't have the votes for it, no?
Yes. At saka pag nagsimula na yung process, hindi na rin makakapag-intervene ang Supreme Court. No? Dahil nga, nagsimula na No? Ang tradition kasi, pag nagsimula na, hindi na pwede makialam. Kaya nga nakialam sila last year bago magsimula.
So, but ito pang may kaisipang ganito, kung mag-resign siya, pwede ba daw siyang tumakbo because she will resign from her post?
I doubt kung mag-resign siya. Dahil kung mag-resign siya, pwede na siyang kasuhan ng plunder, ng malversation, and other non-bailable offenses. Dahil hindi ka na impeachable Ikalawa, kahit mag-resign ka, pwede magpatuloy yung impeachment para desisyonan kung makakatakbo ka ba o hindi. Paano? Gray area yan paano kung mag-desisyon yung court na hindi ka na pwedeng tumakbo? So, I doubt kung mag-resign siya. Baka
But the courts are don't take they take their time. They take their time.
Yes, especially kung
2028.
Especially kung co-equal branch yan. No? Either may constitutional crisis o sobrang grave abuse of discretion, which will take years bago ma-resolve. Tapos na yung impeachment, tapos na yung election sa 2028. Wala pang desisyon yung Supreme Court.
Okay.
No?
O sige, pwede mo nang patayin yung alarm sa telepono.
Hindi ko alam paano papatayin.
Maraming salamat and have a good weekend. That was our resident political pundit, Ronald Llamas.
Maraming salamat.
You are watching The Big Story on One News. When we return, we hear Ateneo President Father Bobby Yap saying sorry again for the demise of 2 students.
Actions have caused anger, confusion, and deep hurt, and I hear the criticisms, the condemnations, and the insults that have been directed at us. I do not dismiss them. But let me say that I am deeply sorry for the pain we have caused you.
Ateneo students there earlier in the day singing their university hymn as rain fell. This is part of the Atenean series of actions to mourn the deaths of basketball players Rene Baterbonia and Divine Adili. Resigned Blue Eagles head coach Tab Baldwin was at the PNP CIDG headquarters earlier in the day. He was summoned over an Ateneo team-building activity in Dipaculao, Aurora on June 8th, which ended in the drowning of student athletes Rene Baterbonia and Divine Adili. Baldwin was also supposed to go to the NBI today, but that appearance was rescheduled to Monday, June 22. Ateneo de Manila University President Robert Yap also skipped the NBI and was represented by his lawyer. Father Bobby had to attend the university's graduation ceremony where he once again apologized for the tragedy.
My actions have caused anger, confusion, and deep hurt, and I hear the criticisms, the condemnations, and the insults that have been directed at us. I do not dismiss them. But let me say that I am deeply sorry for the pain we have caused you.
The celebration was marred by indignation today. Ateneo students staged a community walkout to grieve the loss of Baterbonia and Adili. The protesters demanded justice, accountability, and answers from the university administration. Several Ateneo seniors also wore black bands to symbolize both mourning and unity during the class of 2026 graduation. Meantime, DILG Secretary John Vic Remulla cited differences in statements of those present when Baterbonia and Adili died. Ateneo players recalled having conditioning activities at sea, while the coaching staff said the training was only done along the shoreline.
They gave their narration of events. There are some inconsistencies between what the players said and what the coaches said, pero hindi pa kami tapos, so wala pa kami magbibigay na comment hanggang matapos lahat to.
And in the aftermath of Baterbonia-Drilon's drowning, the University Athletic Association of the Philippines, or UAAP, has barred from its games all the coaching staff of Ateneo present in the Aurora incident. This is pending the outcome of the investigations being conducted by the government and the university and the league itself. At this point, we bring you more stories making headlines this end of the week. Mobile journalist Arles de los Santos reports.
Contractor Curly Discaya pleaded not guilty in his malversation of public funds case. This is in connection with the flood control scandal. The reason, according to his camp, was plain and simple.
Kasi hindi naman siya beneficial owner ng St. Timothy.
Discaya attended his arraignment at the 20th branch of the Malolos Regional Trial Court via video conference. According to his lawyer, Curly is having health issues since his detention at the Bulacan Provincial Jail on June 8.
Hindi naman maganda yung atmosphere talaga sa loob ng jail. So kung kukumustahin mo siya, hindi maganda. Lately, nagkaroon siya ng skin rashes.
Dahil?
So dahil sa init, sobrang init. And then binigyan ko siya ng medication through the advice of the doctor. Medyo okay na.
Members of the Samahan ng Progresibong Kabataan, or SPARC, stormed the office of the Ombudsman to call for the filing of a case against Senator Joel Villanueva. Villanueva supposedly pocketed 150 million pesos in kickbacks from anomalous flood control projects in Bulacan. SPARC fears the senator will no longer be held accountable after he sided with the majority group of Senate President Win Gatchalian. About 2 weeks ago, Ombudsman Boying Remulla said Villanueva's case is already ripe for filing. A non-partisan coalition composed of faith-based and civil society groups will hold a protest on June 28 at the People Power Monument in EDSA called the White Ribbon Movement, or WRM. The group said the rally seeks to push electoral reforms and strengthen the credibility of the country's electoral system. It will also call for full accountability of officials involving corruption and will push for passage of a genuine anti-political dynasty law. The WRM emphasized that its movement is peaceful and inclusive, aimed at restoring public trust in the democracy and ensuring corruption is punished regardless of status or political affiliation. And the Bank of the Philippine Islands President and CEO TG Lim Cauco has apologized to customers for recent glitches in the bank's mobile application. In an interview on One News's Money Talks, Lim Cauco said a network issue, a new app update, and heavy back-end loads contributed to the service disruptions. He said BPI already addressed the problem and is working to prevent a repeat of the incident. Lim Cauco also welcomed the Bangko Central's review of the outage and said BPI would submit a complete report to regulators.
Hopefully everything is fine going forward. And again, apologize to all our customers, and I take it on myself. It's my responsibility. All we have to do is be honest and be upfront. And the reality is this was a digital issue. People did not lose access to their accounts. There were no errors in the balances.
Mga kapatid, Mobile Journal Arles de los Santos. We are One News.
And these gentlemen aren't mincing words. First, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano versus Senator Ping Lacson. Cayetano earlier blasted Lacson for saying 700 million pesos in public funds were wasted during the 28 days he was Senate President. Cayetano insisted the upper chamber spends 25 million pesos a day, whoever the SP is. But Lacson said he was referring to output, work in plenary and passing laws, not boycotting the session to go live on Facebook. Senator Ping added, quote, "Kaya sayang ang pera kasi zero ang output." Something Cayetano answered in yet another FB video. The ousted Senate President questioned Lacson's computation.
Sa math, bakit? Because 12 is not 13. Pangalawa, akala ko ba sabi nyo tanggal ako nung June 3? O ilan araw ang May 11 hanggang June 3? O, paano naging 28? Diba? So makikita mo talaga na mahuhuli sa bibig ang isda. So sabi niya, isipin mo, walang productivity. O bakit ngayon break eh? Everyday ngayon, 25 million. So kung ngayon sasabihin ko, ang grupo ni Lacson at ni Gatchalian, 25 million today, walang nagawa.
Then, Senator Lacson had another statement today saying he actually pities Cayetano, that he hopes his colleague is not having a, quote, meltdown. And now on to Davao, Congressman Pulong Duterte and Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla. Recall that Remulla rebuked the former presidential son for information that the ICC already issued an arrest warrant against Senator Bongo.
Siguro po ako, wala pa ako nakita. Baka sabog siya nung narinig niya kasi wala pa kami nakikitang ganun eh. So wala, hindi namin alam. Wala pa kami. Siya lang nakakita nun. Sa amin, wala pa eh.
Sabi niya, highly reliable source.
Baka high lang.
Pulong's retort, he's not high, and the DILG chief could have mistaken him for people in Malacanang. Duterte also challenged Remulla to a hair follicle drug test. The DILG secretary is yet to reply. In other news, the Philippine Blockchain Week 2026 has kicked off, and on top of the agenda, curbing corruption in the Philippines. The details from mobile journalist Fatima Baduria.
The government is expanding its use of blockchain technology following a newly signed partnership between the Department of Information and Communications Technology and the Blockchain Council of the Philippines. During Philippine Blockchain Week 2026, which kicks off this weekend, tech leaders emphasized the ways blockchain can be used to foster public trust in governance. In particular, the council says a tamper-proof auditing platform called the Integrity Chain can combat corruption in government. The Integrity Chain is a joint project of the Blockchain Council of the Philippines and the DICT.
The advent of the flood control projects, right in this smack in the middle of it, when you'd see, Secretary Vince Dizon really going all over and trying to find a solution, for this. He basically approached the Blockchain Council of the Philippines to collaborate with them. That was a clear case of collaboration between the public sector, the government agencies, and the private sector.
The council also acknowledged that the flood control scandal turned off a lot of foreign investors.
When the flood control scandal erupted, a lot of our foreign aid, our sponsors, they said, if our money that we're helping the country is going to be in the pockets of your government leaders, we will not support you anymore. So what we did was to hit the problem square in the head. We said, can we use all foreign? Can we utilize all the foreign aided and foreign assisted projects? We will now monitor and track the usage of all of these.
Phase 2 of the Integrity Chain onboards the ICT, signaling that the government is taking steps to promote budget transparency. However, the DICT acknowledges that technology alone cannot entirely solve corruption.
Well, corruption is more on people. Okay? Kailangang magsimula sa tao. Technology will be the tool to restrict them of doing that. Kasi pag transparent ang lahat, walang pwedeng mandaya. Okay? Kapag lahat ay nakikita ng tao, pag lahat ng pera ay pwedeng i-monitor kung saan napupunta, aayos yung mga contractor, aayos yung mga agency, walang mandadaya. So hindi siya 100% na sasabihin natin na anti-corruption agad-agad ng blockchain, hindi. Pero isa itong technology nito na magagamit natin, okay, para mahirap ng mangurap kasi nga pwede nating i-monitor yung kanilang mga activities.
The Philippine government is already using blockchain technology for its eGov app. And earlier this year, the DICT said that the Philippines has become the first country in the world to put its entire national budget cycle on the blockchain or a secure digital ledger. Kapatid, Fatima Baduria, we are One News.
This is a big story on One News, and coming up, a big-time oil price cut in effect next week. How much? We'll tell you after the break.
What you are trying to promote in government is stability and a steadiness of work, and that's an important part of governance. If you keep moving people around, they have to start learning the job again. We just don't have time for that. Sana naman sa paglagay ni Senator Sherwin bilang SP, ay mabalik naman tayo sa normal na patakbo ng Senado. And that they can take care of the business of government, the business of legislation, and all these necessary legislation that we listed to show that our priority.
You're still watching The Big Story. Expect an oil price rollback next week. According to an industry source of the Philippine Star, a big-time cut is possible. Diesel prices could drop by nearly 10 pesos per liter, while gasoline prices may go down by about 5 pesos per liter. Final price adjustments will be announced on or before Tuesday, June 23. The Energy Department is also expecting a sharp decline in oil prices following the peace deal between the U.S. and Iran. Oil Industry Management Bureau Director Rino Abad said only 3 trading days had passed this week, but petroleum product prices had already posted significant declines.
Labo na hong tumaas, bagkus kung may magagandang balita, may development, ay inaasahan ho natin na magbababa tuloy yung epekto sa price.
Meantime, this leadership group has tailored a livelihood program for mothers in Baseco, Manila. JCI Manila has provided a 40-hour sewing program for these women to help them earn for their families. The group has connected participants with potential partners so that their products can reach the market. Not only that, JCI is also helping them rehabilitate Baseco's community center and acquire sewing equipment to establish a sustainable livelihood hub. Here we feature sustainable initiatives one story at a time. Welcome to Sustainability. And joining us tonight is Threads of Life Project Chairman Bugsy Ancheta. Good evening, Bugsy. Welcome to the Big Story and to Sustainability. It's our second day of Sustainable Stories.
Yes.
Okay, tell us about this initiative in Baseco. Of course, it's one of the poorest communities in Metro Manila. When did you start?
We started 2 months ago.
So young.
Yeah.
So young a project.
Early stage of the project.
Okay.
So when we first visited Baseco, Manila, mainly we saw po na their main livelihood there is peeling ng garlic and laundry. And that really struck us, no. And from there,
how much do they earn? Are they paid by the hour, by the kilo?
By the kilo. Well, roughly around 100 to 150 pesos per day for peeling of garlic. So from there, it motivated us to somehow find a new skill set for them that would give them more income potentially.
Okay.
So that gave birth to Threads of Life as a project.
How many women, they're targeted for women, no?
Yes.
These are those who stay at home to tend to the house?
Yes.
They have no jobs?
No jobs,
Oo.
yes.
If ever, casual lang, parang laundry,
Casual,
like
yes.
you said.
Laundry and garlic peeling.
Kung saan magpa-extra. Okay. And how many? How many were involved in this project?
So we were able to have 72 mothers from Baseco, Manila. So just a while ago po, no, the last batch for this project
72. So that's
graduated.
72 families na rin.
Yes, 72 families.
Pero wala silang sariling makina.
They have po. And that's the beauty po about the project that we conducted.
What do you mean? You gave them?
Yes po. Because of the generosity of the organizations and individuals who are involved in the project.
So all 72 have now one sewing machine each, or do they share?
They share po. Because
so ilang sewing machine ang binigay ninyo sa community?
20. We were able to produce 20 high-speed sewing machines po for the community. And it is currently being housed po dun sa center that we rehabilitated.
Okay. And what kind of skills? You brought a sample, no?
Yes, we
quite
did.
simple. These are parang eco bags.
Yes po.
May customer na ba sila? You're finding them a buyer
Yes. Part of making po, eto po.
Panglagay ng mga sapatos.
Yes, sapatos, gym bag,
Or-
dust bag for bags, as
bags,
well.
oo.
Yes.
So do you provide also the material?
Yes, we do.
Binigyan mo sila ninyo ng puhunan tong mga kababaihan na to?
Again, dahil po sa generosity ng ating mga donors and sponsors, may mga nag-donate po sa atin ng starting raw materials to come up with products like this.
So sinong bibili?
So, yun po. Meron po tayong mga naging partners sa iba't
So,
ibang...
but you just started like,
Yes.
what, 20 days? What did
2
you
weeks, 2 months ago po. 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Because of the initiative of the group, nagkaroon po kami ng mga iba't ibang partnerships with the private sector. No? So, when we presented them the project and made them
So
see
lalagyan
the
na lang nila ng brand.
Yes.
Kunyari,
So they could put like a
TV5.
patch. Yes, perfect.
Magkano
perfect
bili
po yan.
nito ang benta?
So this is around 20.
Mura lang to.
Yes, mura lang po to. This is around 25 pesos po, a piece.
So now, how much will they earn? From, you said 100 pesos to 150
Yes po.
a day peeling garlic. So that's amoy bawang ka the whole day, di ba? Siyempre. Magkano kita dyan?
For this one po, we were able to come up with 30,000 units of orders po for
Wow,
this one.
30,000.
Yes. It's made possible
Times, sige, do the math.
Times 25, Roughly, each student po would get around 500 to 600 pesos po per day.
For how
because of
long?
it. For how long? 3 months po for that certain project.
Okay. Are you committed to this? Baka iwanan nyo sila after just a couple of months.
Well, that's the
Are
beauty.
you committed to see this through because it's just 2 months old?
Yeah. That's the beauty po about the sustainability
I'm grilling
project.
you like you. How young are
Yes.
you?
I'm 33, Mrs.
You look young.
Thank you.
So what do you do on what other jobs do you have? Because this is something you do on the side, I suppose.
Yeah. This is just public service. I'm an entrepreneur by profession.
Okay.
So I handle a retail company for more than a decade now. And since I want to be purposeful, I joined JCI Manila to be able to tap into my spirituality by being purposeful through these projects. So answering your question,
yes,
po,
I hope you see this through because, Baseco is also used to, kasi
Right.
simbolo
Right.
siya ng kahirapan sa Manila.
Right.
Dating ang mga tao dyan, tapos aalis.
Tama po.
Ganyan ang experience ng mga tao, ng komunidad.
Yes po.
Yeah. So, are you committed to see this for many years to come?
Well, we're trying to go for it. Lang po. Well, quarterly, no. So
sige.
for this quarter, we managed
At
to
least,
find a partner po who would handle the
Ilan ang
operations.
nagagawa sa isang araw ng isang tao na ganito?
Alright.
Mabilis lang to gawin.
Mabilis
Akala
lang
mo
po.
naman, di ba madali lang?
Yes,
O,
it
ilan?
is. About 50 units po ang kayang gawin.
In a day?
In a day.
In a day.
Yes.
Okay. So for 3 months, sabi mo, may
Yes
income
po.
sila na magkano
Around
ulit?
500 to 600 pesos.
So
po.
malaking bagay na yon,
Yes.
no? From parang 3 times yung increase. These women are all married, have kids. What's the range of age?
So mostly of our beneficiaries are mothers. So different age brackets, different backgrounds po. Some are young mothers, some are ages
Lola na?
60
Merong
lolas.
lola na?
Yes, we have lolas as well.
And unskilled in sewing?
Unskilled in sewing po. Mostly are unskilled. Meron po kaming mga na-encounter who are already familiar with it, pero haven't really gotten the chance po na to really sew using this grade of machines, sewing machines.
We understand that One News is a partner of JCI, especially in mounting your conference this year.
Yes.
Tell us about it. And what does JCI really do?
So, JCI Manila is a
Maraming branches yan, di ba?
Yes,
May
marami.
JCI Cagayan de Oro, may
Right.
JCI Quezon City, gano'n.
Yes. We're basically JCI Manila po. The first ever chapter in the Philippines and in Asia.
How old is it?
It's 78 years old.
Okay.
So we started noong 1947 po. No? So
How does one join?
So, like us, so ako, I'm a new applicant to the organization. So,
How long have you been with the organization?
I've been with the organization for 4 months already.
What? 4 months pa
Yes.
lang, tapos nagka-project ka na agad?
Yes, that's the beauty.
Ikaw lang to, mag-isa?
I'm with my group mates. We're 4 in the group. And that's the beauty about it po. We have this program, we do projects, and we're usually mentored by other members of the organization. So
Good
that's
job.
how we. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mrs.
But please give them more projects. Okay, I understand you want to make a call for donations as well?
Yes, Mrs. No. So
Para saan? Saan pupunta yung mga donasyon na to?
So the donations po will be used to raise po funds for the raw materials that would be used for the projects as well as renovation nung ating current center, no, because as of now
Ito yung center nakikita natin. Mukhang rehabilitated na. Ano pang gusto nyong gawin?
it's painted, pero the CR po wala pa siyang door, then wala pa siyang access sa ating water. Wala pong water kasi dun sa taas as of now. So we wanna fix those things po to make it a more conducive environment to produce these goods.
All right. So where can our viewers send their donations?
All right. So you can message our First you can message po our Facebook group. It's called Threads of Life via Facebook. So you can message us there for the details of the donations. We are accepting cash or in-kind donations, lalong-lalo na po mga fabrics.
Ito sabi mo, in-kind nga itong donation. No?
Yes po.
And hopefully you can upscale them aside from making this simple bag onto other more complicated designs,
Yes.
no? Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
That
Mrs.
was Bugsy Ancheta of Threads of Life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs.
And now we turn to sports. Eman Bacosa Pacquiao steps into his first title fight. He will go against Rodelin Perez for the PBF Lightweight Championship. Catch the action live this Sunday, June 21, on the One Sports YouTube channel. Live stream starts at 3 p.m. and the main event starts at 6:15 p.m. And before we go, the beaches of Tandan City, Surigao del Sur, have turned into a giant canvas for football superstar Lionel Messi. Our big picture tonight, the sand portrait of Messi, created by 57-year-old artist Roderick Papalo Saranza. Saranza made the artwork in time for the World Cup. Saranza was a wedding photographer and videographer, but his business was closed during the pandemic. After years of depression, he turned to sand art in 2024. Now, those are the big stories this week. I'm Ces Oreña-Drilon, kapatid. We are One News, your side all the time. Good night and enjoy your weekend.